Hi, it's Jon Mitchell, Mayor of New Bedford, and this is another installment of the Mayor's Weekly Update. So one thing I wanted to highlight this week was the announcement, the dedication of the Cove Walk in the South End. Governor Baker was here to dedicate that Cove Walk, which is not even quite done yet. It's built, but we don't have the landscaping in place yet, so it's not all pretty yet. It will be. But we went ahead with the ribbon cutting because obviously people are using it already, and so why wait? So it was a good ceremony. That was the Cove Walk was part of our bigger investment along the water in the South End that started 3 or 4 years ago when we began to plan the Harbor Walk, and we were able to convince the state to give us money for the Cove Walk. We, the city, largely paid for the Harbor Walk. But we didn't, I thought that the city really didn't have the capacity to also pay for the Cove Walk. So we made our case to the state. We showed that the Harbor Walk was a success and that we had designed the Cove Walk and it was all set to go. It was shovel ready, as they say. And so we went forward with it, and look, it's hugely successful already, and it's only been open for a few months now, and not even in the warm weather months. So I think it's going to be a big hit this summer. So appreciate the governor's support of that project. That was the big news this week. Otherwise, we've been buried in City Hall working on the budget. And this year, so there'll be announcements in the months ahead, or excuse me, the weeks ahead about the budget. I do my annual budget address to the City Council in a couple of weeks. But just to give you a little bit of a preview, the city has been very effective at managing taxpayer funds, and we really do try to scrutinize where every penny goes, literally, and because it's not easy. I'm not telling anybody anything they don't know, in that the city's resources are constrained. They're constrained because of the requirements of state law when it comes to things like health care and pensions and charter schools especially. These are areas that are growing very rapidly and crowding out our ability to pay for things like fire and police and schools. And so it's not easy. And fortunately, we have a very effective financial team headed up by Ari Skye, the city's chief financial officer. I think we're in a position now to continue to move forward with the kinds of services that I believe our city residents need. To the extent that there will be enhancements in the budget, it will be things that will effectively pay for themselves, and that's the way we're looking at it. In the long run, I think that our city needs to lead a discussion, a statewide discussion about what the state requires of us, and the constraints that the state puts on us in terms of making decisions about cutting costs where appropriate. That's a longer discussion that will take place not just during budget season, but far beyond. But I do want just to mention that we're working very hard at that right now. The team's working very hard at it right now to come up with a sensible budget that maintains the fiscal stability of the city and puts taxpayer dollars effectively to work. So stay tuned about that. And until next week, this has been the Mayor's Weekly Update.